to praise.
That's what I did.
You.
It takes a great deal of maturity to arrive at a place like this, contentment, to say, Lord, whatever happens in my life, I'm cool with it. Sometimes trials are going to come. Sometimes storms are going to come. Sometimes things will be rearranged in your life and things may not pan out like you want them to. But when you really have a relationship with God, you don't go through life complaining about every single thing. So many folk go through life, you just whine and pine and recline. You just complaining about the job you have when somebody else would love to have that job. Complaining about the car you drive when somebody would like a piece of the car you got. Complaining about the house you live in being too small or being this or that, and somebody's homeless. And people of God, you have to come to a place where you recognize that every now and then God gives us opportunities to show the world how we handle whatever comes in our life. Then every now and then God will use other people to meet our needs. In other words, what God will do, he'll do what he did to Paul. Remember in Philippians, we love to quote Philippians 4:19, my God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches in glory. We love to quote that scripture, but many people miss it out of context in verse 15 through 18, where the apostle really commends the church at Philippi for sowing into his life and saying, because you have communicated with me good things, he says, God is going to supply your every need. Remember that widow woman in 1 Kings 17? Remember her when she was down to her last meal, but God sent a prophet and God used the man of God to help her get a miracle. Contentment also erases shame, because when you come to a place of contentment, you're not ashamed of the blessing that God has given unto you. You don't drive your car and you think it's a hoop that you got to park it way in the back by a tree. No, you bring that thing up front and say, valet please, even if it's smoking, even if the door coming out, valet please. You're afraid to invite folk to your house because this door don't work, the faucet don't work, the air don't work. No, come on over, because people that really love you will accept you for who you are. I wish I had a witness up in this place today. Context of what you went through, listen carefully. God allowed you to experience different extremes, ups and downs, full and hungry. Here is Paul in jail writing an epistle from a strange place, but yet he is in contentment. You can't be lopsided. You got to be able to function between extremes, and Paul calls it the whatsoever state I am in. When I have money, I know how to manage it. When I don't have much money, I know how to make a dollar stretch. And the only way you can do this, you got to learn how to live in the whatsoever state you are in, because people of God, you experience a variety of events that solidify your witness. Can I tell you something? How you gonna tell folk to hang on with no money in their pocket if you've always had a silver spoon in your mouth? Unless you've been through some stuff, keep your mouth closed, because until you've been through and you've been to hell and back, you really don't understand what it means to rest in your situation. Can I just break this down for a second? Life will give you 3 tests. The first test God will give you in life is the test of abundance. How do you handle life when you're walking in blessings that are overflowing? Because what I have, you gave me. What I am, you made me. What I know, you taught me. And where I am, you brought me. The higher I go in life, the humbler I got to become. And God says, if you miss that test, guess what? I'll take you through a season of loss. If you can pass that test, then God says, I'll give you the next test of restoration, because that's when God will start restoring the years that the locusts have eaten up in your life. You want to know why God takes you through that season? He takes you through that season so you'll remember who brought you back. God's bringing that stuff back, and there's somebody up in here now that says, Lord, I may have missed it the first time, but I get it right now. I was on that job the first time walking around thinking it was me, but now when I get this next job, I'm going through the hallway saying, this is the day the Lord has made.
To view this message in its entirety, please visit MountZionAnywhere.org.